another good time to see you, our dear partner. We appreciate you for always making the power circuits your favorites. This program is a result of sustained commitment by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, the only company with the mandate of transmitting bulk electricity in Nigeria. I am Amara Agugoesi, and together, let's get the best of this time. Coming your way shortly is a report on how Nigeria is driving its quest to attain sustainable energy for all. TCN head charges internal auditors on sustaining audit reforms. We also bring to you a special report on the actions the Transmission Company of Nigeria is taking in collaboration with critical stakeholders to tackle cases of power transmission assets encroachment and new partnerships with stakeholders to safeguard these facilities. Get comfortable and enjoy your view with the power circuits. The federal government of Nigeria has reiterated its quest for attaining sustainable energy for all for the country. The Minister of Power, Engineer Bubakar D. Aliyu, stated this when he received in his office the Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All and co-chair of UN Energy, Ms. Damilola Ogunbiyi, and her team. Here's a report.
The Nigerian Sustainable Energy for All is an initiative of the Federal Ministry of Power, working with Nigerians to generate the most accurate data and latest tools to empower better electrification planning in Nigeria. Through an advanced web map, the federal government deploys data and tools that are continuously enriched. Data for investment decisions are readily accessible to investors on mini-grid, on-grid power sectors, as well as solar home systems. Following the C4O Global Action Agenda, the Nigerian government committed to increase electricity generation to 30,000 megawatts by the year 2030, while increasing the renewable energy share of the national electricity grid to 30% by the year 2030. The visit by the Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All, C4All, and co-chair of UN Energy and her team was to strengthen the commitment of Nigeria towards reaching the target, as well as reassurance from the highest body driving global access to electricity.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has charged the internal auditors of the company to sustain their innovative reforms and positive attitude towards transparency and accountability.
The TCN head, Engineer Abdulaziz, represented by the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider at TCN, Engineer Victor Adewumi, gave the charge at the annual audit conference of the company in Abuja. He also commended the audit department for the detailed role it is playing in engendering transparency and accountability in TCN.
I commend the audit department for the year, for the annual audit report for year 2021. I've gone through it, and I think it's one of the best reports I've received from audit department in recent times, because that report is very comprehensive. There is no frivolities in it, and I think that report will actually assist TCN management. So guys, I think you deserve rounds of applause for that.
Engineer Abdulaziz further encouraged the audit staff to sustain their attitude to imbibing transparency.
Having said that, gentlemen and ladies, on behalf of the MD, CEO, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, I want to formally declare this conference open.
The Executive Director, Human Resources, Mr. Justin Dudu, said the conference provided opportunities for exchange of knowledge among the participants.
I'd like to encourage you to take maximum benefit of this conference. Whatever you have come to do, be focused at it. Gain all the knowledge you want to gain here, and then ensure that you also take time to socialize.
The Executive Director of Finance and Accounts, Issa Dusi, who was represented by the General Manager of Finance and Accounts, Balarabe Abdullahi, extolled the audit staff and tasked them on innovative reforms.
There are a lot of things that the board wants us to be doing that we have not been doing before. So the work that we have been doing has increased. So we have to redouble our efforts and make sure that whatever we are supposed to do, we are doing them correctly.
In his remarks, the General Manager Audit, Mr. Issa Mohammed, lauded the leadership of TCN for the support the audit department is receiving. He further stated that the digitization and automation of business processes has become more crucial and urged the staff to key into this.
In any economy, change is constant. Therefore, internal audits, like any other business function, must continue to evolve and embrace opportunity brought forth by digital transformation, data analytics, and automation of business processes is proving crucial to the future of any audit function. And internal audit personnel must adapt or risk falling behind and probably out of job. The time to transform the internal audit is now.
The Auditors Conference and training, which lasted for 2 days, had audit staff from the 10 regions of TCN in active participation. During the technical session, the participants went through the retraining process of preparing monthly financial reports, among other audit documents.
While the governing board and the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is keen on delivering more power projects, the challenge of encroachment of the right-of-way of power transmission lines has not abated. We have a role of protecting power transmission lines and its associated substations to ensure stable power supply. TCN is appealing to you to avoid erecting structures near power transmission lines and do everything in your power to safeguard these assets.
Kaduna State is a core route for transmitting bulk power by the Transmission Company of Nigeria to the northwest and linking the northeast. However, on these vast transmission lines, there are observed encroachment of the assets by the residents of the state. It was on this concern that the Chairman, National Committee on Eradication of Encroachment of TCN's Right-of-Way, Mr. Kange Kefas, visited Kaduna recently along with his team to meet with state officials, security operatives, community leaders, and other stakeholders. At the Kaduna State Urban Planning and Development Agency, Kasubda office, Mr. Kefas appreciated the leadership of the agency for clearing some of the illegal structures already.
Even without our coming here, he on his own has been able to clear some of this illegal occupants on our right of way in so many of our right of ways, and TCN appreciates that. TCN is actually worried by this encroachment on the right of way. You discover the agency is aware of how we acquire the right of way. It's a long, tortuous journey of engaging consultants to do environmental impact assessment. We pay compensation on buildings, on structures, and on economic trees to acquire this right of way.
Mr. Kefas, who is also the General Manager Health, Safety and Environment at TCN, explained that the encroachment also makes it difficult for TCN during the routine maintenance of the transmission lines.
They have encroached on it, and it is a worrisome thing to TCN on 4 prongs. The first one is that it's illegal, as the encroachment means it's coming to take occupy what is not yours. Secondly, it has constituted a serious problem in terms of having access to our lines when we want to do maintenance. In some places you discover that like if you are moving towards Jaji, you discover that some of our towers are in people's houses. People even spread clothes on the tower members.
The TCN safety experts also spoke about the dangers of living under power transmission lines.
Apart from not allowing us access to these lines when we need to maintain them, and also bringing problem of not giving regular supply, it also constitutes safety hazard in the sense that this 330 and 132 that we have are the highest we have in this country. And for whatever reason, if this snaps and fall either on a structure or on people, they become ashes. So we are not only concerned with the fact that people are not allowing us to access these lines, we are also concerned as a responsible organization with the health and even the safety of the people. The safety I just explained that when this line snaps, and you will never know when it will snap. You may be there for 20 years and you say you have been here for 20 years, nothing has happened. But one day, it has happened in so many places. Even the lesser load like 33 snapped in 2013 at Calabar and killed over 60-something people who were watching football. Not to talk about 330 and 132.
In his remarks, the Regional Transmission Manager RTM Kaduna Region, Engineer Aminu Haruna, who was represented by the Assistant General Manager Technical Service, Engineer Abubakar Abdulaziz, expressed his gratitude to the stakeholders for their collaboration with TCN.
You have been coming across of this kind of challenges. Thank God that is why we find it very easy for you to easily comprehend what we need, and we thank God for that. And I want to pray that we hope in the near future, in the subsequent meeting, we will have a very smooth running to see to the end of this assignment.
Addressing the press after the meeting, the Director General Kasubda Ismail Diko, represented by the Director Development Planning Bello Ibrahim, said the visit was apt and critical to addressing the issue of encroachments.
We actively engage every day in development control activities. So, federal government right of way, being Nigeria Railway Corporation or Federal Highway, Transmission Company of Nigeria, pipeline, we don't play with it. We don't play with structure along the right of way. Any illegal structure, we clear them, and we don't get approval. So I'm still appealing to members of the public that they should desist from buying land from land speculators. Let them go to Kajis and acquire a legal, legitimate land and apply to the authority to get their permit before mobilize to site.
The team also visited the office of the Commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, where Mr. Kefa stated the purpose of the visit of the TCN delegation.
Compliments and greetings of the Managing Director of TCN, Engineer Dr. S.A. Abdulaziz.
The State Commandant of the Civil Defense Corps, Idris Ada, assured members of the committee that the Civil Defense Corps takes the issue of safeguarding national assets with great importance.
Protection of national assets and infrastructure is one of our core mandates, and which has to do with your company. And I think coming here is not unusual, and it's very timely, and it is welcome. The only few things I have to tell you now is that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, as far as Kaduna State concerned, Kaduna State Command is concerned, we are ready. We are ever ready to assist you whenever you call upon us. And moreover, at all your plants, you have our men already. then I'm equally assuring you that whenever we are called upon to assist you, we will assist you accordingly.
The state commandant also presented TCN a plaque of appreciation for the cordial relationship between the company and the Corps.
The special report on the encroachment of power transmission assets continues in a moment.
Just count all the blocks, eh?
Sir, we are a transmission company of Nigerian linesmen, and we just observed that you're about to erect a structure here.
You're very observant. Yes, I'm trying to put up a shopping mall of 200 shops that will serve this neighborhood. And I'm very excited about the project.
But sir, have you observed that it is under high tension transmission lines? It could snap, drop on the shopping mall and electrocute everyone inside it. Moreover, sir, these lines emit electromagnetic waves that are harmful to the health of human beings.
Really? This could cause so much harm?
Absolutely, sir. Imagine if there's a fire outbreak in the mall. It could destroy the transmission lines, causing outage to many states in the country. Erecting a structure under high-tension transmission lines will not help government efforts to grow our power supply and grow our economy. Be part of growth. Do not destroy electricity power installations. Little vigilance and concern on our part is necessary to protect transmission infrastructure nationwide. Be vigilant.
This message is brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmitting electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
Officials of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, also carried out a notice of enforcement actions around the new artisan area in the Enugu state capital, where residents erected several structures that encroach into the right-of-way of 330 kilovolt power transmission lines. The Principal Manager Transmission at Enugu Sub-Region of TCN, Engineer Jude Madu, explained the process of the enforcement action on the illegal structures.
This is a new artisan. It's under Ugwi district in Enugu. And we have 3 transmission lines. We have Ugwaji, line Ugwaji, New Haven line 1 and 2. And also we have Onisha, New Haven, line 1. So these 3 lines pass through this community. We have towers here, our transmission line. There is a rule that you must not build within 25 meters of the tower, both sides. And people, they've been flouting that rule. Even with repeated warning, they continue. So our mission today is to continue the sensitization so that people will obey the rule and stop building. The encroachment is not good for themselves when you even talk of health-wise. So we continue to do this to carry people along, to educate them so that they know the implication before we might come for final demolition of all those buildings.
The TCN official noted that upon sensitization and the issues are not addressed, the company, along with critical authorities, will explore legal enforcement action.
It's good to engage the community. We are working with humans. It's not easy for them to even take the first warning. So that's why we are taking out our time to be making repeated warnings. Finally, we're going to take an action that will involve demolition of those infrastructures that encroach on the right of way. that will be the next step we are going to take.
He also sensitized some persons around the structures that encroached into the transmission lines right of way at the premier layout axis on the dangers inherent.
We are basically here to sensitize people. One, about the encroachments on our transmission line. And secondly, the people that planted these trees, it's illegal for them to do so. And we want them to remove them. We are from transmission company. I'm a federal government. We are in charge of these towers. Okay. So you people, you've been told several times about the implication of encroaching on this transmission line. We have the safety rules that you must obey. If you are building, you don't need to encroach on the line. You have to give 25 meters on both sides. But when we discover that after repeated warning, people will just ignore the warning and keep on building. So what we are doing now, we are marking, it's even for the good of you people. Because one day we are going to come with bulldozer to remove all this, even the buildings that are closer to the line.
A senior manager lines at the Enugu region of TCN, Mr. Nwokedi Agadi, explained that several sensitization exercises have been carried out.
It's like 50-50. There's impact, there's no impact. Some people have done their own. Some people have stopped their own building. Some are still building. My local management have done everything they can do. Even my GM have mobilized, we bought paint, do everything for us to do this thing. We painted, we wrote. My problem is that after writing on the wall, they repented. You can see some of them that have not removed. They have removed some. They repented.
You have heard from TCN officials about the power transmission lines, towers and substations and why encroaching on them is dangerous. Support TCN so it can always serve you better. We promise to continue in bringing you more informative reports. Let's take you through the headlines again. Nigeria commits to attaining sustainable energy for all. TCN head charges internal auditors on sustaining audit reforms. We also brought to you a special report on the importance of power transmission lines and other assets in the development of a nation. This is why you will need to sustain your partnership with TCN to safeguard power transmission facilities against all forms of encroachments. We have got you covered as we bring all episodes of the Power Circuit to you on the TCN YouTube channel. There are also more of these platforms that you can visit for further inquiries about TCN. I am Amara Agogoisi. Thanks for watching.